Hi guys, it's Chris at Cork and Crown back in my cider shed with some more cider to try. But I haven't got cider to try. That's a lie. What I've got to try instead is a perry. And it's a perry from a producer we've tried in the shed before. And it was a bottle I got sent randomly with. I ordered some cider from Lyne Down in Herefordshire. And it was a case of 6. And there's 5 Lyne Down ciders in there. I don't think they had 6 in the range. So they threw in something else. And it's from a guy called Phill Palmer. Palmer's Upland Cider in South Wales. Newent. And it was the Little Jenny Wren. And I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. So when I was travelling to Wales, I contacted Phil to see if I could go and visit him. And I went and visited him. And it was a brilliant visit. So basically, he's making cider in a big shed, which was actually a stables. That he bought a stable and knocked it down, shipped it to his house, and then rebuilt it in his garden. And put like a lean-to on the side. And that's his cidery, if you like. And then his garage is also like an aging room. There's barrels in there, whiskey barrels, Rioja barrels, Burgundy barrels. There was all sorts of stuff going on. We were trying varietals that I'd never tried before, single varieties that I'd never heard of even. We tried loads of stuff. He was keeving. We stuck the wine thief through the chapeau brun of the keeve into the juice, took a bit of that, tried that. That was cool. I've never done that before. It was a brilliant visit, And anyway, what I've got from him isn't a cider. It is, in fact, a perry called Ruperra. And there it is. There's some lads scrunting on the front, on the label. I don't know if Ruperra means scrunting in Welsh. Possibly does. I'm guessing it will tell us something on the label. Where is it? Small scale, multi-award winning craft cider. Cider with a Y. And he emphasises that as well. Historically, cider with a Y was the first run juice that came off the apples. And that would go to the people, the aristocrats, the landowners, whatever. Then they sort of repress, and what they got then, they could maybe water back as well. And that would be for the sort of like the labourers to drink and stuff. And that was spelt with an I. So cider historically was like the first run pressed juice, the really, really good stuff. And the cider with an I was like the less good stuff from the second pressing. Historically. Now nobody makes that distinction. Anybody can put cider with a Y on their bottle. But Phil likes to use that because he uses 100% juice. And it's important to him that he marks that out, and that's how he does it, and fair play to him. I mean, to be honest, it's ridiculous, the laws surrounding the percentage of juice you can put in things anyway. So, it's right that these people who put all this effort in to make 100% juice, somehow get to say on the bottle, look what I've done. Look at the effort I put in. That's why you're going to pay a little more, but that's also why it tastes so much bloody better. Anyway, Raymond the Wasp just made an entrance. I don't know if you heard him there. Hi, Raymond. He's up in his nest. Right. I'll start reading this again. Small-scale, multi-award winning craft cider makers creating a full juice cider and perry using hand-picked fruit from unsprayed orchards. This classic painting of the lads scrumping pears used to be on the sign outside the Ruperra Arms pub. Locals say the word Ruperra comes from the Welsh for Rhu, meaning hill, and Perai, meaning perry. Perry Hill seemed a great name for a perry made from our Welsh orchards, and only our finest Betty Prosser, Blakeney Red, Thorn, Oldfield Brandy and Winnell's Longdon pears have gone into this particular perry blend. That is a cracking list of pear varietals. I'm assuming he got the Betty Prosser from Kevin at Mono Valley, because I think he knows of 5 trees, and Jeremy at Hollow Ash, so Cummaddock, he knows of 2 trees, maybe 3 I think. There's very few around, but I'm assuming because he's mates with. I went to Kevin Garrod's at Mono Valley before I went to his house. So I went from one house to another house because they both make it in their houses. And he said he'd met Phil through supplying him with apples and pears. So I assume he got the Betty Prosser from there. But what a great list. All the Betty Prosser, Blakeney Red, Thorn, Oldfield, Brandy and Winnell's Longdon. Brilliant list. Of pear varietals, what is the ABV? 6.5, contains sulfites, don't care about that. Fresh perry pear juice and sugar. So he's dosing with sugar, I assume. I assume he's dosing. Actually, yeah, because when I had it, I thought it was very bright, so I didn't know if he'd filtered it, but actually he just racked off and got a really bright cider and perry, so he's not filtering it. I think maybe the new stuff he might be. I'm not sure. Anyway, but I'm pretty sure this isn't. Shall we try it, everybody? Yes, please, Chris. Jesus Christ. 5 minutes in, and you haven't even opened the bloody bottle. Sorry. Jesus Christ. Looks like a perry, though, doesn't it? Look at that colour. It's much paler than our Ciders generally are, but it's got a lovely pinkish hue to it. That kind of, I want to say like Pinot Gris kind of pinkish hue, or Gewürztraminer, sorry, pinkish hue that you get in cider sometimes. It's just got that. I think that, I don't know what's bringing that. I mean, the Bertie Prosser actually has a hint of that colour about it, so I wonder if it's the Bertie Prosser bringing that to the party. Thank you, Betty, if that's the case. Looks nice. It's quite a big head on that. Seems reasonably fizzy. If he is dosing, I wonder how much he's using. 5 ml per litre is how much Albert and Ross and I use, and that's about right, it seems to me. Don't know how much Phil's using, but we had a good. I mean, I was there for 3 hours. We talked about everything. We also agreed on overcarbonation being a bad thing, but sometimes when you're dosing, there's lots of different factors. Even though you put the same amount of sugar, there's different factors that can, like temperature and stuff like that, that can affect how much fizz you actually get in the bottle. Albert and Ross and I was telling me that, I believe, or maybe it was Kevin, or maybe it was Phil. I can't remember. One of them people, anyway. Let's smell it. Lovely, delicate perry nose, but very nice actually. That smells excellent. He's a very good blender, I think. Is Kevin? Phill Palmer. I think he's got a great palate. I think. I was thinking that when we were trying stuff together as well. It's a real skill. I think he's really cracked it, because the Jenny Wren was a blend, and that was a brilliant blend, and this is a blend. And I haven't tasted it yet. Just on the nose, I'm excited by it. Because it's got that pear thing, but there's an earthiness to it as well. There's a kind of a woody, earthy character to it as well, which I really like a lot. Really nice nose. Delicate, but absolutely just not. It doesn't smell like a dessert pear at all. It's got a totally different character. There's an earthiness, a woodiness to it, which I really like. Let's try it. Reason why it's sweet is, I'm going to assume that comes from sorbitol, and that it's fully fermented out the sugars that you might have dosed it with. I'm assuming that. Reasonable sweetness, but with perry, you will get that. Sorbitol, non-fermentable sugar alcohol, gives you residual sweetness. This has it. I flipping love it though. I don't mind sugar at all, not one bit. And yeah, that's great. There's a wine-like quality to it, but there's a rich pear, but that kind of slightly round, rich, creamy woodiness that I detect on the nose. I've got it on the palate as well. It's delicate but brilliant. Don't confuse subtlety with blandness. It's not the same thing at all. This is subtle, it's not bland, and I really like it. Jesus, I really like his stuff. The bubbles are lovely. They're lovely. They're so fine. Almost like a very fine kind of space dust. You know, stuff, the popping candy, whatever it's called. I really like this. I really like this. It's delicate but delicious. Great stuff. Great stuff, Phil. Yeah. Phill Palmer. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. And I know you'll be watching this at some point. Cheers, mate. This is great. And I did have a brilliant time with you as well. It was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. So there you go. Ruperra. Medium sparkling perry from Palmer's Upland Cider. And we like very much. We like very much. So, Jenny Wren, excellent. Ruperra, excellent. He's won lots of awards for his perry making and cider making. Lots of it. And I can see why. And basically, he's a teacher. It's basically his hobby, this. It's just brilliant. It's amazing. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining in my shed. As per usual. I hope you join me again. Just got a tweet there. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you join me again. But until then, cheers.